Political parties are fighting for its control. Collins Chabane Local Municipality was established after the August 2016 local government elections by the merging of portions of two local municipalities, namely Thulamela and Makhado. Malamulele is the seat of the municipality. We are now joined by political analyst Levy Ndou to unpack the history of the municipality and to talk about the leading contenders to lead it. Now, Mr. Ndou, a very good evening to you. It's always a pleasure having you join us this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Globe.
Good evening, Simpiwe. Good evening to the viewers at home. Thank you for having me.
Now, before we get deeper into this conversation, I want us to reflect and look back at the history of the Collins Chabane Municipality, how it came about and what really necessitated its formation.
Well, you'll recall, Simpiwe, that there was a moment where there were issues that were relating to the demarcation of the borders in Limpopo. And the demarcation matters was received with some element of dissatisfaction from some members of the community of Limpopo and in particular Malamulele. And those people actually wanted themselves to have their own municipality because they felt at the time that the Thulamela municipality was actually not providing services as expected. But that struggle that they waged for quite some time created a situation where if a municipality had to be created, they were supposed to be merged with other municipalities and in particular part of Makhado municipality so that they can be able to form one bigger municipality. And everybody else will recall that there were a lot of tensions, rejections, conflict, bannings, and students could not even go to schools because the community of Wani and the surrounding areas actually rejected that proposal. And you will also recall that this is the matter that drew the attention not only of the provincial leadership in Limpopo, but of the national leadership of both government and the different political organizations. Traditional leaders in the Vembe region also got involved in trying to resolve the matter. But the unfortunate part is that the people of one in particular were very much steadfast in the refusal of joining Malamulele municipality, but eventually it ended up happening and a brand new municipality was then formed called Collins Chabane. And we need to recall, Simpiwe, that this municipality was given the name Collins Chabane after the passing on of the late minister in the presidency, Minister Collins Chabane. And what we do have now is that you have a very greater portion of the former Thulamela municipality and the former Makhado municipality that have become one municipality. And vast as it is, it has its own challenges that relates to service delivery and a very small budget that they actually receive. And of course, like any other municipality in South Africa, Collins Chabane municipality has got its own challenges. Challenges that relates to the provisioning of basic services, the provisioning of ensuring that roads are actually being maintained. But to a certain extent, the municipalities seem to be coming together to be able to provide what some people will be able to point out and say, indeed, we have got a brand new municipality which seem to be moving slowly, but seem to be moving towards the right direction. And in the shortest space of time, which is the past 4 years, this municipality has been able to come together, have a functional municipality, have all the different departments starting to function as a normal municipality. And of course, if these people come together, try to work together, they can still be able to build one strong municipality that South Africans can still be proud of.
Now, back to the issue of demarcation, Mr. Ndou. Evidence has shown a low level of public participation when it comes to the demarcation processes by the residents. Why do you think this is the case, though?
Well, I think there are a number of challenges that would influence such. Firstly, it will be that not actually pointing a finger at the demarcation board. There seems to be a very little element of awareness amongst that must go amongst members of the communities, so that they end up knowing that there is a process of demarcation that is actually going on. Number two, you have got a general element of apathy among South Africans, which actually leave them in a situation where they actually don't see the need to participate in important decision makings that has a potential to affect their lives on a regular basis. But one must also point a finger at community-based organizations, your civic organizations, and especially the traditional leadership. One would have expected civics and traditional leadership to be at the forefront, to conscientize their citizens about the processes of demarcations, so that citizens must know the importance of participating in these activities. The other aspect that I think is also quite important is that if you have got functional wards or branches of political parties, this is the information that political parties have to know, and indeed you'll expect them to conscientize their members and the communities in general to be able to participate in these activities, so that when a final decision is taken by the demarcation board, members of the community would be able to say, this is the process that we participated in, and indeed this is the process that we also own as members of the community.
And I do understand that residents of Vuwani still continue to reject the new municipality. I mean, they are now appealing to the Municipal Demarcation Board to reverse its decision, or they will continue with protests until they are incorporated, back to the Makhado LM, which they previously fell. I mean, this is taking them 10 steps backwards, isn't it?
Well, Simpiwe, I think at times people have to learn the hard way. These are the consequences of the lack of participation on important matters that citizens are actually affected about. And if citizens had actually participated from the onset, we wouldn't be having this kind of a situation. And indeed, there are challenges in these municipalities, especially on matters of service delivery. There has been concerns that has been raised, especially by people that are coming from the other side, which is a bit far from Malamulele, who are saying that they actually don't get sufficient services because there seem to be a constant concentration of the work of the municipality only in the areas of Malamulele. But on the other hand, you would still have some of the citizens in the one area who are saying, we seem to be getting services from the municipality, even though it's actually coming slower and slower. So if one has to look at the lifespan of the municipality and the challenges that they actually had, you would actually be able to say, maybe we need to give this municipality a bit of a chance to be able to regroup and actually focus on its main responsibilities, and not have certain other communities rather complaining about the lack of services. But also in general, citizens in South Africa are complaining about poor services in South Africa. And of course, with a smaller municipality like this one, brand new as it is, indeed one would expect more and more complaints come from the ordinary citizens.
Would you agree with me then, Mr. Ndou, that the ethnic reasons are ostensibly and possibly at the heart of the tensions? Because remember that the vendor-speaking participants accuse the Municipal Demarcation Board of manipulating the boundaries to the advantage of the Tsonga people.
Well, Simpiwe, when this matter started years back, it was mainly influenced by tribalism, and one would say this is quite unfortunate, that the people of Malamulele, years back, when they were demanding their own municipality, they were actually saying, or there were sentiments that says that Thulamela municipality is not providing services to the people of Malamulele because it's being run by the vendor-speaking people. And when the demarcation board came in to have the brand new municipality established, you still have now those that are on the side of Wani saying that they are being ignored by the people of Malamulele, and they get sentiments like our focus, or we fought for the establishment of the municipality, so we are not going to be able to provide services for you. And one would not expect a situation where 27 years into our democracy, we still have communities that will actually want to have access to resources or access to services based on tribalism, because that indeed has a potential to further divide our people, and also at the same time, it does not take us anywhere. And when you hear different political parties, they speak in one voice, trying to discourage any form of tribalism that has to manifest among South African society. And if indeed tribalism is the cause of the challenges in this municipality, one would expect strong political leadership to actually get in, fight against the demon of tribalism, and try to build a stronger community of Collins Chabane, wherein all people that are the residents of that municipality should be able to live together and build a very strong municipality.
And generally speaking, what would you attribute the service delivery fails to? Is it because of the ineptitude of a particular political party running that particular municipality, or is it simply capacity issues on that municipality?
Well, there are a variety of issues, Simpiwe. Firstly, because this is a brand new municipality, one has to look at the issue of the municipality having to sit down and circle. From a distance, one might assume that after electing a council and just having a brand new municipality, everything will just start functioning. And that is not the case. You need to firstly attract very good administrators, very good financial people to be able to provide sufficient capacity to the municipality to be able to deliver. But also at the same time, you also need to be able to identify or to appoint right people to occupy such positions. And if you don't have a strong foundation for these municipalities, you are actually going not to be able to succeed. Few days ago, there was a report that was released by the public protector identifying some of the challenges in one of the municipalities in South Africa. If you have unqualified personnel being appointed in municipalities, and you also have councillors who would just get in on the basis of them being voted in and not looking at any formal requirement, that municipality has a potential not to make it. And this is not the challenge for Collins Chabane alone. This is the challenge for a number of municipalities in South Africa. And I think political parties in South Africa must do us a favor. And the favor that we need from political parties, all of us, is that political parties must give South Africans councillors or candidates that have a potential to be able to deliver, people who have got certain requirements academically, who must then be able to understand the basics of service delivery, who must be able to understand budgeting, who must also then be able to understand how simple bylaws are actually being made, so that we have got a functional municipality that people are going to be proud of. If we don't get this caliber of people in our municipality, we are actually doomed for failure. And this is a challenge to different political parties and ourselves as voters, that we need to vote people that are quite sure that they're actually going to do and deliver the best of their abilities for all of us.
All right, Mr. Ndou, as always, lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
you're always welcome. Thank you so much.
All right, that was political analyst Levy Ndou just talking to us about the history of Collins Chabane Municipality and the service delivery issues thereof. This is